Hi, I'm back. Um, Small Faces and Further Hit Singles, 1966. Winston was replaced by Ian McLagan, whose keyboard talents and diminutive stature fit with the groove of the band perfectly. McLagan played his first performance with the band on the 2nd of November 1965. The new Small Faces lineup hit the charts with their single Sha La La Lee. I thought it was just Sha La Lee, not Sha La La Lee. Like two laws. I thought it was two laws, not three laws. But apparently I was incorrect. But in the song, he actually sings it like Sha La 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 Lee. So that's significantly more laws than three. It's like la la la. There's five. There's five laws in the chorus of the song. So this is just nonsensical. It's utterly preposterous, and I will be having none of it. None, I say, not one bit. But anyway, moving on, moving on. Released on the 28th of January 1966. It was written for the group by Mort Schumann, who wrote many of Elvis Presley's biggest hits, including Viva Las Vegas, and popular English entertainer and singer Kenny Lynch. The song was a big hit in Britain, peaking at. Sorry, I had a funny thought. I'm not gonna say it. Never mind. Uh, 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 Intrusive thoughts, guys. They're a real thing. The song was a big hit in Britain, peaking at number 3 in the UK singles charts. Their first album, Small Faces, released on the 6th of May 1966, was also a considerable success. Um, They rapidly rose in popularity with each chart success, becoming regulars on British pop TV shows such as Ready Steady Go and Top of the Pops. Those are the British old 60s TV shows. If you're one of these people such as myself who is into this very specific scene of like British 60s people, then you will know of Ready Steady Go and Top of the Pops. These will be in your brain. If you're like this specific flavor of nerd that I am, you would know these shows. Okay, you would be aware. So just think about that. Think about it. Anyway, uh, cough, cough. Uh, and toured incessantly in the UK and Europe. Their popularity peaked in August 1966 when All or Nothing, their fifth single, hit the top of the UK charts. According to Marriott's mother, Kay, he is said to have written the song about his breakup with his ex-fiancée Susan Oliver. On the success of All or Nothing, they were set to tour America with The Lovin' Spoonful and the Mamas and the Papas. However, these plans had to be shelved by Don Arden after details of Ian McLagan's recent drug conviction were leaked. Oopsie daisies, oh no. Fuckity wuckity, shittily whittly. Oopsie doopsie, my guy. I picked a whole bouquet of oopsie daisies. Oh, wow. Or that is to say, Ian McLagan did, as he was convicted of druggos. He was convicted of having druggos. He'd had them in his possession. He possessed them. La la la, lee lee lee. Wah! Squaw, swish whoosh, squaw. Anyway, by 1966, despite being one of the highest grossing live acts in the country and scoring many successful singles, including 4 UK top 10 chart hits, the group still had little money. Yeah, they never really struck it rich. They never did. They never did. Uh, Spoiler alert, They never will. They never did. Yeah. They really should have. After a confrontation with Arden, who tried to face down the boys' parents by claiming that the whole band were using drugs, they broke with both Arden and Decca. Yeah, yeah. Arden seems like a fucked up guy. I mean, they were all on drugs, though. They were all on drugs. I mean, they were using a lot of speed and like heroin, probably more speed than heroin, but like a little bit of heroin, a little cheeky bit of heroin, just a teeny just a little bit of heroin, it's just a little bit of heroin, you guys. Cough, cough. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, all right. They were almost. Oh, sorry. Immediate label years: 1967 to 1968. Here Come the Nice and their eponymous second album, 1967. Yeah, I don't know what eponymous means, but I don't care. They were almost straight away offered a deal with the newly established Immediate label, formed by ex Rolling Stones uh, manager Andrew Loog Oldham. Oldham. And by the way, what kind of name is Loog? Loog? Like a loogie? Disgusting. Disgusting and weird. Ha ha. I laugh. I laugh and I giggle. And I snicker and I chuckle and all that. Okay? Anyway, given a virtual open account at Olympic Studios in Barnes, London, the band progressed rapidly, working closely with engineer Glyn Johns. Okay. Yeah, their first immediate single was the daring Here Come the Nice banger song, really good song, which was clearly influenced by their drug use. Yep, it's all about being a drug dealer, or, well, admiring a drug dealer. Like, the lyrics are all about how he's the coolest and how uh, you wish you could be like him. Like, they wish they could be like the Nice, which was the drug dealer. That was the nickname for like speed dealers. Even though I've seen in interviews them talking about how they actually don't stand by that. Like Steve Marriott or Ronnie Lane or one of them was in this interview talking about how like speed dealers weren't actually your friends. Like weed dealers, marijuana dealers, whatever, they were more trustworthy. They cared about you. But speed dealers, nah, not so much. They just wanted your money and they would like take advantage of your dependence and stuff. And I know that speed isn't like addictive with a capital A, but there's still a kind of relationship with it where you can get in a habit of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mean to speak from experience or anything. No, seriously, I've never done speed. I've done Vyvanse, which is a prescription drug that is an amphetamine, so it's like I've had speed, but I haven't really had speed, okay? Vyvanse is an ADHD medication. Let's not get too personal. Let's just not talk about that, okay? Anyway. Yeah? Okay. Like, okay. Anyway, I like doing noises and managed to escape censorship despite the fact that it openly referred to the dealer who sold drugs. A self titled album, The Small Faces, followed, which, if not a major seller, was very highly regarded by other musicians and would exert a strong influence on a number of bands both at home and abroad. 3 weeks before, their old label Decca released the album From the Beginning, combining old hits with a number of previously unreleased recordings. It included earlier versions of the songs they re-recorded for Immediate, including My Way of Giving, which they had demoed for Chris Farlow, and Tell Me, Have You Ever Seen Me, which they had given to how do you pronounce apostolic intervention? Apostolic? I don't know. I don't know that word. I'm not educated. I'm not edumacated. Anyway, yeah, I'm just a little common little farmer. I'm just a little farmer, just a little farm boy. I don't know nothing. My name's Billy Bob. I'm a little farm boy. I don't know shit. That's classist. That's classist. Oh my god. Oh, Karl Marx. I'm sorry. I've let you down. The album also featured their stage favorite Baby Don't You Do It, featuring Jimmy Winston on lead vocals and guitar. Ichiku Park, There Are But Four Small Faces, and Lazy Sunday, 1967 to 68. The band's following single, Ichiku Park, released on the 11th of August 1967, was the first of the band's two charting singles in the United States, reaching number 16 in January 1968. The single was a bigger hit in Britain, peaking at number 3. Ichiku Park was the first Britain single to use flanging, I think that's how that's pronounced, the technique of touching the flange of one tape reel, which yielded a distinctive comb filtering effect. Don't really know what they're talking about, but yeah. Sounds cool, sounds fancy. The effect had been applied by Olympic Studios engineer George Chikians. Chikians! Chikians! Chickens! Yeah, I don't know how to say that. Cool name though. Like it. I like it. I don't know what it is, and I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm just yeah. Chickens! Ichiku Park was followed in December 1967 by Tin Soldier, written by Marriott. Also, the track features American singer P.P. Arnold on backing vocals. The song was quite a hit in reaching number 9 on the UK charts and number 73 on the US Hot 100 chart. The immediate Small Faces album was eventually released in the United States as There Are But Four Small Faces, with a considerable track range including singles Here Come the Nice, Ichiku Park, and Tin Soldier, but eliminating several UK album tracks. The immediate the next single, Lazy Sunday, released in 1968, was a fucking banger! And it went hard, and it goes hard, and it's the best! And it fucking rocks! I'm just kidding, that's not what it says. It says, was an East End music hall style song released by Immediate against the band's wishes. That's sad! Why didn't they want that to be released when it's such a fucking banger and it goes hard? And it's fire, and all those other sayings. Or, as they would say in the 60s, it was a groove, and it was hip and chic, or something. It was certainly a groove. I don't know any other 60s slang. I'm sorry. What other things did they say? I mean, they said cool. It was cool, you know. I mean, that's not hyperbolic enough. I need more hyperboles. I need more pimply hyperboles. That's a reference. Pimply hyperboles. That's something that was said in Smashing Time. Smashing Time, a 60s movie, a British 60s movie that you should see. Wait, no, I'm telling lies, I think. Wait. Nah! Pimply hyperboles was not said in Smashing Time. Wait, maybe it was. It was okay. Fuck. It was either said in Smashing Time or fucking goddamn that the Beatles movie. I know they made a lot, but the first Beatles movie. Why can't I remember the name? Hard Day's Night. Fuck. A Hard Day's Night. All right. Yeah. Fucking yeah. A Hard Day's Night was possibly where they said pimply hyperboles, but it also might have been Smashing Time, so I can't remember. Anyway, shalala. It was written by Marriott. Yeah, we're back to the article now. It was written by Marriott, inspired by the feuds with his neighbors, and recorded as a joke. Shouldn't have been as a joke when it's seriously, considerably, and sincerely fantastic, and I love it. Unironically. Damn. The single reached number 2 in the UK charts, as it should. It should reach number 1 or more than 1. It should be infinity. Except that would actually, the higher the number, the lower it is on the charts. Like, you want it to be a low number, not a high number, so that doesn't make any sense. But negative infinity, it's number negative infinity. So it's like, it's above everything. It's the best. It's the best song. The final official single during the band's career was folksy sounding The Universal. I wish I'd heard that one. I haven't heard all these songs. Some of them I haven't heard. Released in the summer of 1968. The song was recorded by adding studio overdubs to a basic track that Marriott had cut live in his back garden in Essex with an acoustic guitar. Taped on a home cassette recorder, Marriott's recording included his dogs barking in the background. That is so charming. That is so charming and small. It's very Small Faces esque. They do a little bit of like sound effects in the background. Like a lot of their music can have like little sound effects or just texture in the background to make the sound more like open and real and alive, and it's very cool. It's very dimensional, very multi-dimensional instead of just being like one layer of sound. There's like lots of layers going on. It takes you somewhere. It paints a picture. It takes you to another land is what I'm trying to say. Um The single's comparative lack of success in the charts, number 16 on the UK chart, disappointed Marriott, who then stopped writing music. No. Ogden's Nut Gone Flake, 1968. At home in England, their career reached an all-time high after the release of their classic psychedelia-influenced album Ogden's Nut Gone Flake on the 21st of May 1968. It is widely regarded as a classic album and featured an innovative round cover, the first of its kind, designed to resemble an antique tobacco tin. It's very cool. It stayed at number one in the UK albums chart for 6 weeks, but reached only number 159 in the US. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch? That's a bitch and a half, is what that is. That's a bitch and a half. A half of a bitch and a full bitch. Simultaneously. Simultaneously, guys. It's just not fair. You know what I mean? 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 You know what I'm saying? 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 Oh my god. I mean, gee whiz. I mean, gee whiz. I mean, gee willikers. Straight up. Straight. Okay. The two-act concept album consists of 6 original songs on side 1 and a whimsical psychedelic fairy tale on side 2, relating the adventures of Happiness Stan and his need to find out where the other half of the moon went when it waned. It was narrated by Stanley Unwin, underrated motherfucker. My dad says that he's the best member of the Small Faces. He's not actually a member, but he basically is. I mean, he basically made this album. Ogden's Nut Gone Flake would not be the same without good old Stanley Unwin. And yeah, but yeah, I just love it so fucking much, dude. It Ogden's Nut Gone Flake brings me so much goddamn joy. And I'm hard. It makes me erect. My cock becomes hard like a rock whenever I listen to Ogden's Nut Gone Flake. And then, yeah, yeah. What? Are you judging me? Look, if you heard it, you would feel the same way. Okay, it takes an effect on you, man. It does. You know what I mean? 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 You know what I'm saying? All right. After original plans to have Spike Milligan narrate the album went awry. Is it awry? Yes, I think so. When he turned them down. Critics were enthusiastic and the album sold well, but the band were confronted by the practical problem that they had created a studio masterpiece which was virtually impossible to recreate on the road. Yep. That is the problem with late 60s music. A lot of it was like very studio oriented and like you couldn't really recreate it live. So, it's kind of easy to get away with that when you're like the Beatles, because the Beatles, they already were rich. They don't need to make any kind of like touring money. But the Small Faces are not the Beatles. They're small. Both physically and socially, I guess, celebrity wise. You know what I mean? They're not famous the way that the Beatles are. So they have to tour. They have to make money on the road and shit. And like, so this is a problem for them. Yeah. Ogden's was performed as a whole just once and memorably live in the studio on the BBC television program, Color Me Pop. Oh, yes! You guys gotta see that! Yee! It's so good. I just fucking love it. It's Find that video. If you're watching this, find that video and watch it in its entirety. You will be blown away. Breakup and the Autumn Stone, 1969. Marriott officially quit the band at the end of 1968, walking off stage during a live New Year's Eve gig, yelling, "I quit." Damn, little dramatic ass boy. He's such a little diva. It's okay, it's okay. Citing frustration at their failure to break out of their pop image and their inability to reproduce the more sophisticated material properly on stage, Marriott was already looking ahead to a new band, Humble Pie, with Peter Frampton. On the subject of the group's breakup, Kenny Jones, in an interview with uh, John Hellier, 2001, said, "I wish we had been a little bit more grown up at the time. If we had have played Ogden's live, it would have boosted our confidence so much. We were labeled as a pop band, which definitely got up Steve's nose more than we realized. I wish we had been more like the Who in the fact that when they have problems, they stick together until they've overcome them. Steve just thought, well, how do we top Ogden's, and no, and he was off. Ogden's was a masterpiece. If we had played it live, we would have gone to even greater things. Um, I reckon we were on the verge of crossing the Great Divide and becoming a heavier band." Yeah, a lot of their music is quite heavy. Um, a posthumous album, The Autumn Stone, was released later in 1969 and included the major immediate recordings, a rare live concert performance, and a number of previously unreleased tracks recorded for their intended fourth LP, 1862, including the classic swinging 60s instrumental "Wide-Eyed Girl on the Wall" and "A Donkey Rides a Penny a Glass," co-written by Ian McLagan. The final single, "Afterglow of Your Love," was released in 1969 after the band had ceased to exist, and the single only reached number 36 in the UK singles charts. Hiatus, 1970 to 1975. Faces, 1969 to 75. After Small Faces split, Lane, Jones, and McLagan joined forces with two former members of the Jeff Beck group, singer Rod Stewart, boo, boo, we hate Rod Stewart, boo, even though he has cool hair, boo, and guitarist Ronnie Wood, along with Art Wood and Kim Gardner, to form Quiet Melon. Four singles were recorded before the lineup, minus Art Wood and the Gardner, I said the Gardner, just Gardner, and became Faces. However, hoping to capitalize on Small Faces' earlier success, record company executives wanted the band to keep their old name. The band objected, arguing the personal changes resulted in a group altogether different from the Small Faces. As a compromise, the new lineup's first album in the UK was credited First Step by Faces, while in the US the same album was released as First Step by the Small Faces. The album was only a mild commercial success, and the record companies perceived no further need to market both sides of the Atlantic. Oh, fuck. And record companies perceived no further need to market this new lineup as Small Faces. Accordingly, all subsequent albums by this incarnation of the band appeared under the new name Faces on both sides of the Atlantic. However, ooh. However, all North American LP, cassette, and CD reissues of First Step still credit the band as Small Faces. Jones and McLagan stayed with the sequel group Faces until their breakup in 1975. Lane exited Faces slightly earlier in 1973 with his backing band Slim Chance. Lane then released several singles and albums from 1973 to 1976, including the 1974 UK hit How Come. That will be the end of this video. I will continue to make a part 3 after, you know, after I hit the stop button. So yeah, bye.